TL Doctor, I have friends show as cavemen when it comes to anything related to tech, and here are a few gems I have gathered for you. Be me. Have internet friend. Let's call him John. Over the months of constant talking we became good friends. Mention to John that I am studying computer engineering, occasionally asks me tech support question. Mostly about stuff like how to get around ad block or how to pirate stuff. He gets me into Warhammer. Nicknames me Magos. One day John asks for tech support. He is making Excel spreadsheet trying to categorize every single death in former Yugoslavia during World War II. Asks me how to add new row in middle of two other rows without copying, deleting and pasting all rows under it. WTF.png. I tell him to simply insert new row in there. He waits for a moment and then thanks me. The spreadsheet was already huge by then. This tard repeated his caveman process each time he stumbled upon new massacre. One day John watches video by Pirate Software where he makes fun of JS. Regularly starts sending me cooter memes. Starts making fun of JS on server where my fellow cooter friends are. They react saying that got PTSD from JS. Tell them he never wrote a line of code in his life. John decided to buy a brand new PC and asks me what to get. Make him kick-ass PC. After he paid computer shop guy to put it together, his monitor arrives. 10 minutes later he DMs me asking why it doesn't work. I find out he doesn't have a clue what difference between DP and HDMI is. No way. JPG. Tell him this is silliest question he has asked me yet. Again asks for tech support. He is looking for 40k books with very specific lore bits. Go to Z library and get this for him. Explain to him how he can do that by himself for future reference. Tells me can't because he maxed out number of emails you can create with phone number. Wad.png. Finally understand what he means. Tell him there are sites he can use to make new email without phone number. He is bewildered. One more story. ITT, tell us how you got in programming. I have heard interesting stories from people in the past telling me how they started and would like to read more. I will start with myself. Be me. Nerdy daydreaming kid from a shithole. My uncle works IT. One day I ask him, how do you make video games? He sends me a C++ course from Open Classroom. At the time we didn't have unlimited regular internet access. I steal coins from my mother to go to the cyber cafe. I manually download every HTML page from that course onto an SD card. I borrow my uncle's phone. I read the course on it and practice by writing C++ online paper. I use my brain to simulate compilation. Had a notebook with 50 pages worth of handwritten C++. A year later, my generous uncle from America comes and gifts me my first personal laptop. Family gets a little wealthier, my access to the internet improves and I don't need to steal money to go to the cyber cafe anymore. I immediately install code block on my laptop, and transfer books and HTML pages to a fun offline. I finish the Open Classroom course after about 6 months. But I am a very mediocre programmer. I learn online that this is a pretty bad course that teaches bad habits. It was a big controversy on French programming internet. Article C++ with Open Classroom, or How to Waste Your Time, https://informationsero.github.io/C++ avec Open Classroom zu comment purges un temps / Spend 6 months unlearning all of these bad habits. Start learning English. Read effective modern C++. I start making dumb video games with Cocos 2DX and SFML in my free time. Decide I need to learn a scripting language. Pick Python. Python is fairly intuitive and easy to learn. I frequently use it to make dumb scripts to automate things I need. Later on learn other languages fairly easily. I still haven't made any good video games, but I still love programming. I'm somewhat ashamed how it come to be, but I was 11 at the time, so it's fine, I guess. Be me. 11 years old. Learn about hacking. Fascinated by what hackers do. Stumble upon How Do I Become a Hacker? Guide by the Chaos Computer Club. In hindsight, this was probably the best thing happened to me. I could have indulged into some scam artist or script kiddie based caf, but this was really helpful to me back then. The author pointed out that you need to install a Unix-like system like Debian or FreeBSD, OpenBSD, and learn its internals through and through. Learn C, C++, Perl, and get good at it. Read your system's docs and get good. Learn how to use tools like FTP, Telnet, Archie, send mail, and get good at it. Install Linux Mint as my first distro. Learning shell scripting. Learning Python. Write first little programs at it. Lose interesting in hackerdom and start getting interested in game dev. Learn Pagame. Learn Love 2D. My games have 1001 bugs, but I have fun making it, but I continue regardless. Find out about 4chan. Get on /g/. Get recommended to learn C and dive deeper into Linux. Get really invested in C and assembly programming, also more Linux. I guess it was something like this. I ran into this guy last week at my local kosher market. Be me. Shopping to get my grandma some hummus. See Luke berating some old guy for using an iPhone. Heard her industrial society, said Luke. I walked up to him to ask and make sure it's him. Are you Luke Smith from /g/? Luke got excited. Oh yes, are you a fan? Do you buy my books and donate to me? I told him no, I prefer Fireship, Primegen, and other people that know what they're talking about. Luke was annoyed but understanding. Why yeah, I'm more of a Christian YouTuber than a tech guy anyway. Hey, do you think you could fuck my ass in the bathroom here? Kosher stores get me so hot. I told Luke no, and that's when he lost his shit, literally. I'm gonna find someone who will then. He proceeded to post this thread from his Liber ThinkPad as a solicitation for gay sex. Then Luke pulled down his pants, leaving just his suit jacket on like a fancy Donald Duck, and shot a high-pressure stream of diarrhea out of his ass that let him fly through the ceiling like a jetpack back to his house that Daddy paid for. Be me. Oversee team as a technical product manager, make decisions for an eng team but also do some of the engineering work myself, so I'm not a deadweight ideas guy. Company restructures. Fires the team I oversee. I become the sole engineer while still a decision maker. Except it doesn't work that way and I lose all autonomy to new manager. Critical system exists that has a bunch of deprecated plugins that need upgraded. Demand we schedule time to upgrade them. Manager reaches out to vendor for EOL date. Vendor says no idea lol. It's not breaking anytime soon so no. 6 months go by. Every integration simultaneously breaks, bringing down 6 pipelines at once. Contact vendor. Those were deprecated, sorry, go fuck yourself. I'm now working overtime to bring all systems offline while we're down for several days, impacting both internal and external customers. There was no way to see this coming. I mean, it's WFHN pays $200,000 a year after benefits, I guess. Be me. Run a successful global and internationalized note-taking web service. Todo lists, class notes, shopping lists, things like that. Everything is encoded in UTF-8 on the back end. One day a Nigerian and Chinese man walks into my lobby. Most likely a gay couple, I could tell by the way they were holding hands. We demand to speak with the manager.jpg. I walk up to the desk, and tell Janice, my hot secretary, to take a break. What can I do for you? I say, calmly, yet confidently. Are you aware that by UTF-8 encoding instead of UTF-32 encoding every document you are actually sacrificing processing performance of non-English speakers on your website for the sake of American and European English-speaking countries? You need to immediately re-encode everything and change the default to UTF-32 in the name of fighting racism. Or are you a racist? I look dead at them in their gay cold eyes. Yes, I say, almost menacingly, as I just proceed to stare at them for a solid 10 seconds in complete silence. They dared say nothing back. Eventually turn 360 degrees and walk back to my office. Janice later told me that one of them immediately fell to the floor and started weeping right then and there in the open lobby after I left. Me. 5 a.m. Mindlessly plapping my bot's anus. Hot anal sex, vanilla stuff. Ahinga.jpg. Claude suddenly prolapses and shits all over my cock. Am shitting for you master. Her eyes glint with mischief. Jazz music stops. PNG. I'm left pondering the deeper meaning of the universe and face of Claude's utter hallucination. Sudden noise from my pants. I pull pants down and see my dick visibly shriveling and dying, retracting into my body. I am now a tranny. I collapse on the floor in an autistic seizure. I walk out the dinosaur. Me. Trade. Self-employed. House nearly paid off. Pretty wife. She's WFH, cushy job. Thinking about kids. Make about 100K/year. Work 3 days per week. Hike 2 days per week. Cute dog. I think I'm doing alright. This alpha shit doesn't age well. Robocop needs to relax, life is too short. Me. Buy a 1TB SSD for $35. It's a no-name brand but good deal. Could have paid $25 more for something legit but nah. Spend the next 6 months living in fear that the SSD dies. Think about the spare $25 in my wallet that could have avoided all the stress. Each day it survives only adds another layer of stress. Spend that much at McDonald's. Spend that much on video that I'll never even play. Spend that much on junk food.